The people of Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been protesting against what they see as a series of discriminatory policies that have long burdened the region's businesses and residents. The latest wave of unrest has been driven by mounting economic hardships, with local business owners, particularly those running mills and grinding machines, voicing their concerns over government actions that they claim are stifling their livelihoods and deepening economic inequality. Take a look.
The grievances of people living in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan have been building for years, fueled by what they perceive as policies that consistently favor the elite while leaving ordinary people to struggle. One of the latest issues to spark public outcry is the government's push to force mill and grinding machine owners to register with authorities. Protesters argue that this registration is not a genuine effort to regulate the businesses, but rather a covert scheme to impose hefty taxes disguised as registration and renewal fees. For many small business owners, particularly in rural areas, these added costs are simply too much to bear. They argue that such measures only serve to stifle local industry and create more financial obstacles, worsening the already difficult economic situation.
11 मशीन वालों को उन्होंने एक नोटिस भेजा था कि भाई 9 दिसंबर तक कोई अगर अपने 11 मशीन का रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं कराएगा तो हम 9 दिसंबर के बाद उसको सील करेंगे। जब अवामी एक्शन कमेटी ने इस पर रद्द अमल शुरू किया तो उन्होंने इसको अब तक रोका गया है, लेकिन दरमियान में जब थोड़ी सी खामोशी होती है तो वो फिर उभर आते हैं और इनको नोटिसें देते हैं कि आप रजिस्ट्रेशन कराओ और सालाना 15,000 रुपये आप रिन्यूअल फीस दे दो।
The issues in PoGB go far beyond just taxes. The local community has been outspoken about their long-standing grievances with the government's treatment of their region. One of the major sources of frustration is the government's recent hike in commercial electricity tariffs. Protesters claim that this increase in electricity prices is yet another attempt to exploit the local population. Many residents argue that the electricity they rely on is generated within PoGB, yet they are forced to pay exorbitant rates compared to other regions. They believe that this price hike unfairly targets vulnerable communities and adds to the financial strain of already struggling families and businesses. Not only is electricity expensive, but it is also frequently unavailable for hours at a time, causing significant inconvenience and disruption to daily life.
ये हाइड्रो एनर्जी का कहा जाता है, बल्तिस्तान बेस कैम्प है, लेकिन यहाँ हाइड्रो एनर्जी के हवाले से जो खेल खेला जा रहा है, खिलवाड़, अब तक जो हमारे जो तजुर्बात हुए हैं, जो तलख हालात से हम गुजरे हैं, वो ये हैं कि यहाँ पर इलाके को, आवाम को फैसिलिटेट करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट के पास कोई ऐसा कोई मेकनिज़म नहीं है। ये चंद ठेकेदार और अफसरान की जो है ना ब्यूरोक्रेसी की बंदर बांट के लिए यहाँ पर प्रोजेक्ट लगाए जाते हैं और चंद महीने के बाद वाइंड अप करके जो है ना पैसे खा जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से यहाँ मैं तो कहूँगा 24 घंटे में घरेलू जो सारिफिन है उनके लिए तकरीबन 1 घंटे भी बिजली मुयस्सर नहीं है। आज मैं खुद हूँ अपना मोबाइल ला के यहाँ किसी दुकानदार के पास लेके आए हैं कि इसको चार्ज करें, इस नौबत पे हैं।
Another issue fueling the protests is the controversial re-implementation of the Land Reforms and Finance Act. Locals in PoGB see this act as another tool to benefit powerful elites at their expense. For them, the law is nothing more than a continuation of discriminatory policies that favor the rich and well-connected while leaving the region's most vulnerable residents even more marginalized. Critics of the act argue that it does not account for the needs of smaller communities which have been historically neglected by government policies. They fear that this new legislation will only serve to widen the gap between the wealthy and the poor, further entrenching the socio-economic disparities that have plagued the region for years.